What's up, people? Back again. Basically, this time, I know I talked about Kanye and Taylor Swift last time, but this time I want to talk about football, actually. Not American football, but English football, particularly the Premiership, and what happened last weekend with the whole Emmanuel Adebayor situation, his celebration, the stamp, and everything like that. Now, I mean, if you haven't seen it, then you should go to like YouTube or skysports.com or something like that. It's on there, ESPN, it's on there, the footage is on there, you'll see it. Basically, Adebayor obviously played for Arsenal, then moved on to City for whatever reason, and he was getting a lot of stick from the Arsenal fans for leaving. They left for the money and things like that. Nobody really knows the real reason why he left, but everybody thinks that he left for the money. Whether he did or not is another question. I mean, and he had a strange game. He played well in parts, and then he did things like the stamp with Van Persie. I mean, to stamp on your ex-teammate like that, I mean, it's something that I was shocked at. I couldn't believe. I mean, he never seemed to me like a player that would do that sort of malicious thing. But I don't know if something was just going through his head and he was too hyped up from all the energy of playing against his old team. But, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you see it from about 3 or 4 or 5 different angles, and at first you think, oh, it must be an accident, and then you see the last angle, and he clearly turns his foot to stamp down and rake down on Van Persie's face, which, man, just cannot be accepted. I mean, it's like, they're meant to be football players, they're not meant to be doing things like this to each other, especially to someone who I don't know if they were personally friends, but I would assume that they were friends as they were teammates. I mean, the second thing that he did was the whole celebration when he scored his second goal. Sorry, not his second goal, what am I on about? When he scored his goal and ran down from one end of the pitch to the other to celebrate in front of the Arsenal fans, almost inciting riots. I mean, after the whole Millwall and West Ham thing, I mean, everybody was quick to jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, it's awful, he did this, and it's awful, he did that, and so it's completely awful. Now, me personally, I don't think the celebration was that bad. I mean, I do agree that, like, running 90 yards to go celebrate in front of the opposition fans, yeah, is going to incite some sort of reaction from them, and as a football player, maybe they shouldn't do it, but you got to remember, he's not just a football player, he's a human being as well. And, you know, if someone's giving you stick, and you score against them, especially in a football game like this that was so high charge, you're going to want to go and celebrate in front of them to give it back to them. So, I mean, I think people should stop jumping on his back about the whole celebration thing, because if you want to look at things, yeah, Wayne Rooney's done it at Everton, Gary Neville did it in front of the Liverpool fans, Steven Gerrard's done it in front of Everton fans. So, I mean, it's not like he's the only one to do it. I mean, it's just because, maybe he ran so far and he cited such a big reaction from the Arsenal fans that people thought, you know, this is like terrible, it's awful. I've heard that he's been charged with violent conduct for the stamp and misconduct for the celebration, so wait and see what the FA say and what they do about him. But one thing I think everyone should remember, that yes, the stamp was awful and he should never have done that, and he hasn't apologised for that, which is wrong. He did apologise for the celebration, but I do think people need to not jump on the bandwagon and proceed to condemn Adebayor for his actions. I mean, he hasn't apologised for the stamp, and I don't think he's really said anything about the stamp. So fair enough, that was a completely disrespectful act, and really you don't want to be seeing that in the game of football. But as far as the celebration goes, I don't think it was that bad. I do think that he incited unnecessary reactions from the fans, but I think he was just caught up in the whole emotion of the thing. And to be honest, yeah, I don't know one person in the world that if they weren't getting stick the whole match and then scored against the opposing fans, would go and give it back to them. Obviously, people say they're professionals and they shouldn't do this, but like I said before, they're humans as well. So, you know, don't expect them to be up and beyond emotions, because they're not. They're just normal people. Till next time.